This week we're talking about prayer and we're learning more about prayer. And we also want to make prayer practical this week. This is really my goal. And today I want to talk about the place of prayer. Every day we're going to look at something about prayer with a word that starts with P. Yesterday it was a priority of prayer. And today I want to talk about the place of prayer. And you might be wondering or asking, Jano, do we need to be in a specific place like a church or a holy place to pray? And the answer to that is absolutely no. You can be anywhere and pray. You can be anywhere and talk to God and listen to Him because He lives in you. He is always with you. I mean, even when we come to church, as important as it is to attend church, it's not the building that makes the church. It's the people. So when I talk about the place of prayer, I'm not talking about the fact that you have to be in a specific place. But what I am saying is it is sometimes important to have a place where you can spend time with God. And that might be one of your rooms at home. It might be your car where you can listen to worship music and maybe just praise God and worship Him. It might be the beach or to go to a quiet place. But sometimes we also need a place to go to that can help us to just get quiet and spend time with God. You see, it's like a relationship we have with someone. I know with my wife, we talk to each other all the time. Often she would call me during the day and we would chat, and it's wonderful that we can have that fellowship all the time. But it's also important for us to sometimes go on dates. Imagine if my wife asks me over the weekend to go on a date and I say no, because we can talk to each other all the time. That's not going to be good or healthy. And it's the same with God. You know, it's wonderful that we can have access to Him all the time, that we can have fellowship with Him all the time. But it's sometimes also important to have those dedicated quiet times with Him. It helps us to really hear His voice and to experience intimacy with Him. And something that can help us with that is to have a specific place. And see, we want to make it practical this week. But I want to read a couple of verses to you. The first one is Mark 1 verse 35, where it says, "Before daybreak the next morning, Jesus got up and went out to an isolated place to pray." You see, Jesus also had a place that He went to that helped Him to spend time with God. We also read in Luke 11 verse 1, it says, "Once Jesus was in a certain place praying." See, and that was a different place. So again, it doesn't have to be one place or a very specific place, but it can help us to have a place to pray. And I want to ask you today, what is your place? What helps you to connect to God? Even if it's not a specific place even, but something that you do or something that helps you to get quiet and just to focus on Him. What is it? And if it's something that helps you, then apply it, go to that place or get into that position, and it will help you to pray. Because we want to focus on God in prayer and we want to hear His voice in prayer, and this can really help us to enjoy our prayer life. Remember today, you are highly favored and deeply loved.